How are you ding dong diddly doing there, gamerinos? Hope you're having a philanderific day. Um, oh, let me turn on the sound. Oh, and Ultra said let there be sound, and it was good. I just realized I had my mic muted the entire time. How very unfortunate. So I spent a while eating, so we don't really have time for a full episode. And I had a lot of things on my mind, so I figured we would go ahead and just talk about some of those while I run around. I don't really have anything to do here. I mean, I guess I've got upcoming plans I'd like to do, but most of them require Blake, like, to actually, do. Like, that's gonna require Blake. I don't know about this one. This is gonna be, like, for last. This one will, this one will, this one will, this one will. Yeah, all of these. Except for maybe that one. But I don't even know how I'm going to do that, in all fairness, so... Oh, here's something I can do. Last episode, I was gonna go and build the Breeze farm, but I got so distracted that we never got to it. So, yeah. You know, I guess... Oh, wow. Crazy. I guess first off, one of the things that... I didn't even have this one written down, but it just came off the dome. So, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that one. So I went and left a comment on the latest Lore Lodge video, telling them to look into the disappearance of Jonathan Lyman. I sent them an email about it, but it seems they probably don't check that email or something. I don't know. Haven't got so much as a, I'm sorry, this isn't really mysterious, we're not going to look into it back, so I don't know. I think it's quite mysterious, because why would an autistic 17-year-old boy go get on a fucking ATV in the middle of the night? Like, literally, like, anywhere from 12 to 2 a.m. and just drive away and then, like, vanish. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing I can figure, nothing I can reason. And I'm pretty good at these, you know, or at least coming up with theories about this stuff, kind of thing, you know? And I'm not just saying, you know, that I can't figure it out because I've got skin in the game, I guess, you know? He was a friend of mine, but I legitimately am just not sure. It's very weird. Like, again, I know his parents. And he was really close with his dad, so it doesn't... I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I'd like them to look into it and see if they can find anything. because the Lore Lodge team is really very good. I have nothing but positive things to say about them. Their research is immaculate. They've actually solved an incredibly old cold case, which is, again, it's pretty incredible. And it was a really famous one, too. It was the Boy in the Box case. Like, it was on TV and shit. And no one could figure out who this boy was, and they used DNA from 23andMe or something like that to actually figure it out. Which is wild. Just wild. Sorry I'm, like, clearing my throat a lot and coughing a lot. I just ate. And I tend to, you know, do that after I've just eaten and I'm talking. Not to mention that the weather has gone fucking bipolar here again. Totally schizophrenic, you know? Like, we're back to cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. You know? It was like fucking 80 degrees a couple days ago. And now it's like, alright, it's 49 now. Like, hey, I love the cold, but like, stay cold for a while, or stay hot for a while. I need time for my sinuses to recover. You know? Like, it's really been driving me crazy. Like, I finally just got rid of the pressure, you know? Oh, get back here, fish. Alright. Oh, another... What the hell? Weird. Oh, they're both teal blockfish. That makes sense. So I actually have a list of things. I wrote them all out beforehand, because last time I was talking with Slicks, and then I would get distracted, and I forgot what I was going to say, so I've just written it all out. Or so far I've just been spitballing off the dome. Just some random things that came to mind, and I was like, hey, we'll talk about those. Let's talk about the Fuck Canada edition, alright? Fuck Canada. I fucking hate Canada so much. I think it's one of the worst countries that's out there. I think they're terrible. Their leader is a total buffoon, total retard. He's a circus freak. I mean, hence the name Carney. And they feel like they're so damn self-righteous and so much holier than thou, so much better than everyone else, especially America. And it's like, you are our bitch, Canada. Them cheeks belong to us, okay? Like, get that straight. Them cheeks belong to us, Canada. You would not exist if it was not for the United States of America. We allow your shithole nation to, like, just, you know, exist. So it made me beyond happy. And I know I'm a little late on this, to be fair, but I also haven't really been streaming like that recently. It's just so great that we beat Canada at the only thing that they're good at, hockey. We took the gold, fuck you! Like, literally suck my entire nutsack. Like, lick my dick front to back. You know, get it good. It's so amazing. It's so wonderful. It makes me so happy. I like I said, I fucking hate Canada. And beating them at the only thing that they're good at is just inject it right into my veins. I swear. And, like, I love seeing all the memes, you know, like, the White House posted the bald eagle, like, smashing the goose's face into the ice. Beautiful. And then there's a bunch of AI memes that are just amazing. You know, like the American eagle beating the shit out of the Canadian goose. Like, it's so amazing. I love it. Anything that makes those damn CCP-loving asshole Canadians upset just, fills me with joy. Fills me with eternal joy. I love shitting in Canada's cereal. I really do. Yeah, and apparently the guy who scored the game-winning goal is from Orlando. My guy, 407 boy. And he had one of the, probably the hardest picture of 2026. Him with the American flag on, and like blood coming out of his mouth because he got a chipped tooth and everything, with the gold medal. It's amazing. Like, we need to put that in the Smithsonian right next to the picture of Donald Trump after the assassination attempt. Like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And again, anything that makes Canada unhappy makes me very happy. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a great picture. It's so good. And then all of the Canadians on copium, just... Like, yes, cope harder. Yummy. Tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy. You lost to the people you've been calling Nazis. Yummy. I fucking hate Canada. Fucking hate them. But yeah, like I said, wonderful memes. Go check out the Canadian hockey loss memes. They're so good. So it's my favorite thing. I've just been reposting them over and over and over and over again. It's really brought around a bunch of America maxing too. And I love America more than I hate Canada. And trust me, I hate Canada a lot. But I love seeing everybody, like, so proud to be an American and everything. Like, that's so awesome. Like, that's the shit that we need. Like, that's why there's so much division, is like, the left wants to destroy America, and they program their sheeple to hate America, because then, like, we don't have, like, any common, like, bonds, I guess. And it's, again, it's just so beautiful seeing everybody, like, proud to be an American and everything. It's wonderful. Sorry about that. So I was so late to work today. Like, I came in 5 minutes late. Like, I'm never late. I don't live very far away from my work, so it's hard for me to be late. But I was watching a movie, right? And I'll tell you what the movie is. I was gonna listen to an album, but I was like, I don't have time for this. And I was literally like, the movie had finished, and I was like, oh, okay. I probably could have listened to a record, and then I looked at the time, and I was like, holy shit. Not only did I not have time for that record, I didn't have time to watch the movie I just watched. Because I had to be to work in like less than 10 minutes. So, like, I took the quickest shower that, like, has ever been taken. And, like, got dressed and left in a flash. And I was only 5 minutes late, which was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good considering, like, I had less than 10 minutes to get there. So, yeah, that was fucking wild. The movie I was watching was Superman versus the Elite. The movie can be found on YouTube. It's pretty good. So I'm not the biggest fan of Superman. But you know, I'll watch it. But the reason I'm not a big fan of Superman is because he can just kind of do it all. You know, I don't know. It's hard for me to like see how anything can really like hurt Superman, if that makes sense, because it's like he's Superman. You know, I don't know. I don't find him to be as compelling a character as like Batman or Spider-Man or Daredevil. Like, I think those are far more compelling characters. Because essentially they're dudes in like suits. I mean, to be fair, I guess Spider-Man has like powers and everything, but like, if for some reason you got lucky and like shot him, he would be dead. You know? The same thing with Daredevil. Like, if you somehow manage to like, or he could get stabbed by like a member of the Hand, because you know they're really good ninjas and everything. Like, he would be dead. You know, like there's reasonable threats. There's reasonable threats that these characters can like, you know, handle, and it'll challenge them. But with Superman, it's just like he has 3 weaknesses that I know of: kryptonite, magic, and electricity. Oh wait, is electricity a weakness of Superman? Scratch that. I don't know about that. Red sun. We'll say red sun. And maybe electricity. So like 4. Though I don't know if that's just like cartoon Superman, like clouding my judgment of Superman. So I can't say for certain. Regardless, doesn't really matter. Though I would think it would be funny that Electro could possibly beat Superman. If that's the case, like that would be kind of funny. You know, just like some nothing Spider-Man villain takes down Superman. I don't know. I find that to be funny. Anyway, yeah, I don't. And it's like, even if electricity does like hurt Superman or whatever, it's like, but he can just move so fast that you're not able to hit him with electricity. So it kind of renders that obsolete, you know? I mean, I guess you could say that about, like, Spider-Man and bullets. He moves so fast. But, like, there's plenty of other things that, like, it can hurt Spider-Man, you know? He's not literally, like, the Man of Steel. Anyway. I feel like magic is... Fair enough, magic is, like... something he couldn't easily get away from, but, like... having Superman villains be, like, magical beings is kind of weird. I feel like that's more of a Wonder Woman thing. Or, like, a Zatanna thing. Or, like, a Constantine thing. So I just don't know how I feel about that. But whatever. Doesn't really matter. The movie. So I feel like if you are going to make a Superman movie, Superman versus the Elite does like a really good job with Superman, because it kind of makes it less of like a duking it out kind of struggle to like a philosophical and moral wrestle, if that makes sense. So you've got these new characters that show up on the scene. The Elite is what they call themselves. I know, crazy, right? And like one of them's a magic dude, one of them has like telekinesis or something, kind of like Professor X powers, except for mix Professor X powers with like Invisible Woman minus the invisible part. How she can like make the like barriers or whatever, like force fields. Like he can kind of do that. It's kind of like I said, a mixture of Professor X and Invisible Girl. So there's like another dude who can like absorb energy. And then there's just this weird like horny like dragon snake lady thing. Like she constantly talks about wanting to smash Superman, and I don't mean like into the ground kind of smash. I'm talking like down, 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 down. Like, you know, get up with the get down, freaky business kind of smash Superman, you know. No, you know, no, like hitting, more like do 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 do, like, yeah, like really, really, really freaky. And she can like make, she's got like wings, and she can make like snake leech dragon things like pop out of her and like eat people essentially. I don't know how better to describe it. That's kind of like, this kind of her power, and they never explain it either. They explain the main guy's power, Professor X, Invis, like combo. They explain his powers. He's just like, I was gonna say a mutant, but that's Marvel. He's like a meta-human, right? And that's where his powers come from. But the rest of them, they just don't. I guess they're trying to say that they're all metas, but I don't feel like that really works. At least with one of them, like the magic guy. I don't see how him controlling, because they specifically say that he controls demons. I don't see how controlling demons is like a meta power, but I'm willing to like let that slide, I guess. But they just really don't explain her powers at all, which is really weird because they're really weird powers. Like, I'd like to know more about this, please. I feel like there's got to be an extended edition. Like, out there. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But, like, I feel like I could have used some exposition on that, on all of their backstories, and, like, what the fuck is going on with the dragon lady, but it's whatever. Anyway, their whole deal is they want to, like, be superheroes, but they want to go through and, like, murder people. You know, like, murder the bad guy, and everyone's all on board with it and shit. And, like, Superman has to go and, like, basically pretend to kill them, and, like, this big... Because they're, like, obviously, Superman is gonna have a problem with that. And, like, they threaten to take down Superman and kill him. So they're having this big showdown, and he basically pretends to kill them all, leaving the last guy. And, you know, he's flipping out and shit. And then, like, Superman, like, lobotomizes him, essentially. Like, so he... I mean, he's still, like, cognizant and, like, normal and everything, but he can't use his like, meta powers anymore. He, like, lobotomized that part of his brain. And, like, the whole thing is just him. And then he reveals, like, oh, I didn't actually kill anybody. I just made you think that so that, you know, you would learn your lesson that that's not, you know, what you're supposed to do. And he, like, depowers everybody somehow against their will. And it's like, you probably could have done that with a lot of your other villains, but you chose not to. But anyway, I still feel like that is like one of the better Superman stories. It's like, you know, how he should be written, where it's like, rather than having a physical challenge, he has, like, a moral challenge. But at the same time, I feel like you can only do that so many times before it gets stale. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. Yeah. So my boss was talking to me. This is just gonna be a short one, I think. I kind of rambled on about a lot of stuff far past what I thought I was going to, so who knows. My boss and I were talking about God knowing everything, like everything that's going to happen before it happens. And I tried explaining to him that, you know, like, we have free will, but God just knows what we're going to do with it. And he was like, well, that can't be, because, like, God gave us dominion. And unfortunately, I had to go and, like, start vacuuming the shop. So I didn't really get to see where he was going with that. And it kind of confused me, because I was like, I don't see your point here. Because, like, dominion would be, like, power. Having power over something, you know? Being in control, in charge. So I don't see at all, like, what the issue would be with that. Because it's like, this is the way I was thinking about it. I didn't get the chance to tell him this, or to hear his explanation behind why that wouldn't work. But, in Lord of the Rings, we all know that Isildur holds on to the ring. He keeps the ring instead of casting it into fire. We know that's going to happen, but it doesn't diminish Isildur's choice or the consequences of said choice just because we know about it, you know, because God would very likely be like us in that scenario, where it's like we are outside of that space and time watching, and we know what's going to happen, but that doesn't, you know, again, diminish in any way Isildur's free choice to go and keep the ring. So, I don't know. I'll have to talk to him about it tomorrow and see what he says. I feel like the movie thing is a pretty good way to describe it. Alright, this is an interesting one. So Nick Fuentes. I saw him do... So I didn't know anything about Nick Fuentes until like a few months ago. Honestly, it might have been around the time, like maybe a couple months after Charlie was murdered. I didn't know anything about him. I had just heard that he was this awful person and like a Nazi. And I was like, now I kind of want to hear him out. Because whenever the left calls someone a Nazi, they're, like, never a Nazi. Like, ever. So, I watched his Piers Morgan, and Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan, interviews. And there, you know, I was like, oh, okay, this guy seems actually pretty based. That, you know, for the most part. There's a few things he said it was kind of like, at the time, I was kind of like, that's odd. What an odd thing to say, you know? But I didn't really, like, think much more about it. And now it's kind of like, oh, those were the red flags. Those were the red flags. I see. Because now, I'll give him this. He's a good speaker. And he absolutely knows how to play shit to his advantage. So he can make people look kind of stupid. He's very good at that. But then again, people like Piers Morgan kind of make themselves look stupid, in all fairness. So I don't know. But he, like I said, he definitely knows how to play shit to his advantage. But the more that I hear him, like, just talk, you know, on his own, you know, not like giving an interview, or even, you know, giving an interview with, like, Steven Crowder. I watched that one too, and he looked horrible. But it was because it wasn't an adversarial interview. You know, Steven Crowder just wanted to ask him some questions, wanted to have a conversation. And that was the one where Nick Fuentes looked the worst. He looked horrible. And the more that I hear him talk, the more I've come to realize that Milo Yiannopoulos was completely correct about Nick Fuentes. Well, I don't know about the, like, he's gay stuff. I don't know. Maybe. I tend to think not. But I don't know. I'm going to leave it that. I will neither say that, you know, he is or is not. And I don't think it really matters either way. But pretty much everything else that Milo Yiannopoulos had to say about Nick Fuentes is true. This guy is, if you are like a conservative or just on the right at all, you know, this guy is not This guy is not one of us. Like, not at all. Nick Fuentes is a leftist plant. And, like, once you kind of, like, put that together, that Nick Fuentes is not who he says he is, and he's a leftist plant, it all makes so much sense. Like, everything about him makes 100% sense. The dude is advocating for stuff that the left wants and has this very, like, you know, fuck Trump kind of attitude and everything. And, like, we're supposed to just, like, think this guy is not a leftist plant? Like, he's talking about fucking working with Ro Khanna on shit, and, like, has taken the side of the left on, like, a lot of shit. And, like, every day that passes, it's like something new I see from him. Like, he was like, someone had posted that, oh, you know, I think it was Laura Loomer, who I'm not a huge fan of Laura Loomer, to be fair. But she had posted something like, oh, the GOP is going to lose the midterms, which I don't think that's going to be the case, but, you know, maybe the House, but whatever. Doesn't really matter right now. I mean, it will matter, but it doesn't matter in regards to the story. So Nick Fuentes posts, thank God. And it's like, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on the right. But you actively want the Democrats to take over. Like, I understand that you're not happy, or I understand that you claim you're not, well, no, I do believe him when he says he's not happy about Trump and, like, Republicans, because, again, he's a leftist. I believe him when he says that, but if we're taking him at face value and believing that he is on the right, what you're saying is, I want to cut off my nose to spite my face. Like, I'm so unhappy with the right that I want the left, who's going to actively go against everything that I claim that I support, I want them to win. Like, in what universe does that make sense? Again, if you really, like, look around, he's all anti-war with Iran. I've actually changed my mind on that. I used to be anti-war with Iran, but I think it's gonna, well, I'll talk about that later. I'll talk about that change of heart I've had. But yeah, again, he's excited that that the left is going to he's excited at the prospect of the left winning the midterms. I've never heard him say one positive thing about capitalism or just really any issue. I mean, I guess I've heard him, he was pro, like, invading Greenland. But then again, if you think about it, as he's a leftist plant, isn't that something that a leftist would, like, want to encourage? Because, like, and he always talks about like a left or an American empire because imperialism is so bad and shit. Like when and they want to make the right look like the worst people possible. So it's like that kind of tracks though, you know, and like all of the stuff that he says about like different minorities. And it's like, but if he is a plant, they've almost made him too perfect. Because, like, he's saying shit that would sound blasphemous to the left, you know, because the left can't take any criticism, and they like to live in a fantasy land where none of these things, like, exist, you know, because only white people are bad, according to the left. But, like, it's so good that, like, in trying to make him sound like this awful, horrible person, they've made him kind of based, you know? Like the whole, if you're walking on the street thing, do you want to, like, down the street in the middle of the night, like, are you gonna go ahead and walk toward the shady figure, you know, to avoid being, like, looked at as racist, or are you gonna cross the street and not take that chance? It's like, but that's based though, you know, shit like that. Or like the whole, like ghetto culture just being like fucking awful, and like it like colors people's perspectives on like younger black people, because like there's just this like huge ghetto culture, and there's nothing positive about ghetto culture. It, like I said, they've done it so well to the point where like he's kind of based, you know. But at the same time, if you think about it, the left thinks that based shit is like horrible and like just the worst. And then you also take a look at like all the anti-Jew stuff, and it's like, yes, this is the left. Like, this makes sense, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, fuck Israel. I'll say that. Fuck Israel. But like, am I going to sit back and blame Israel for like every little tiny possible thing? No. Am I going to say that like everything we do is because of Israel? No. You know, am I going to say that Israel is wrong about everything? No. But, you know, I'm still not a fan, but like, Nick Fuentes is on that hardcore fuck Israel shit. Like, just everything is Israel's fault. You know, he has to sleep with the nightlight on because he's afraid that Netanyahu is under his bed. Like, that, again, it's like, yeah, this is a leftist plant, 100%. Like, 100 million billion %. And the more he talks, like I said, the more it becomes obvious. So next time, or you know, I just challenge you. Go, like, listen to his live show, or take a look at the shit he's posting on Rumble. I don't watch his live show, to be fair. I have never watched his live show, but like, I'll see clips every now and then. I kind of stopped watching his clips after it became pretty blatantly obvious that he was a leftist plant. But like, go and like read his X account and like tell me he's not. Like, literally, tell me he's not exactly what I'm saying. Because I think that... I think you would be hard-pressed to argue with me on that. So I kind of led into this next one with the whole talking about Nick Fuentes not actually being on the right and 100% being a leftist. But the whole war with Iran thing, at first, the first time when we were going to, like, bomb Iran, I was not on board with it because I thought it was going to lead to an all-out war. But then I was proved wrong. It turned out that I was a bit of a panikin, you know? I flipped out a little too hard because apparently it was nothing. We just went through, we dropped some bombs, boom, done. So, whatever they got planned for Iran, I'm on board with it. Especially considering they're already in a weakened state, and it's an objectively evil country that is, like, murdering its citizens for, like, the lulz. Like, yeah, no, I'm down to fuck them up. I'm down to drop bombs on them. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Or are you gonna go ahead and attack the United States with those non-existent planes you have? Are you gonna shoot down our bombers with those non-existent anti-aircraft guns? Like, I'm totally on board. I think that we should just swing our dick around, liberate the people. No boots on the ground. That's where I draw the line. Boots on the ground is where I draw the line. But, like, I am totally fine with dropping a fuck ton of bombs right on, like, government buildings in Iran. Like, I'm 100% on board with that. Or, like, airdropping guns to, like, the people of Iran so that they can go out and, like, liberate their own country. I'm cool with that. And, you know, people will say, well, that's not America first. And it's like, but it is America first, though. Like, first off, Iran is an enemy to the United States. Alright, they hate us. And people will be like, well, it's because they're threatened all the time. It's like, no, since their fucking inception, they have hated the United States. Alright? Like, literally, they've always fucking hated us. And secondly, it's America first, because they're one of the biggest suppliers of oil to China. And I am totally cool with fucking China. As a matter of fact, I think that should be, like, one of our greatest foreign policy, like, fucking and deals is like our the people in charge of our foreign policy should wake up, you know, stretch and say, how can we fuck China today? How can we fuck China right in the ass? Like, that is, they should wake up and, like, have that on the mind. How can we fuck China? Because, again, China is our... People will be like, Russia, Russia, Russia. It's like, no, Russia is pathetic, alright? We've seen Russia. We've seen them in action. They're pathetic. The real threat to global security is not Russia, it's China. Russia can't even take out a third world Ukraine with, like, some backup tech from the United States. And it's like, you think that Russia, you think they're the final boss? Like, you're fucking like a joke. You're a bigger joke than Russia, okay? The biggest threat is China. Always has been. Like, I guess hasn't always has been, but like in the last 20 years, always has been, and it will be from here on out. So any way that we can fuck China is great. It's very America first. It's pro-global security, honestly. There's a green fish I'm looking for, and I just can't find it. Because there was two. There was like 2 green fish. I guess just one of them's fucking disappeared or something. So, yeah, I mean, if we can cut off their access to, like, oh, here it is. If we can cut off, like, some of their access to oil and, like, you know, pin them back every possible direction we can and weaken them, that's sick. That is amazing. I am on board with that. So, again, so long as there's no boots on the ground, I am 100% in favor of any military action on Iran. Like, I'm gonna trust the plan now. Before, I was like, no, I don't trust the plan, and I look like a fool. So I'm on board with trusting the plan this time. Because I think they have, like, our best interest in, well, at least our nation's best interest in mind. So, yeah. So, you know, I've seen this a lot recently, and it really pisses me off. Just like anything fucking happens, Iran happens, the whole, like, the alien announcement that we're gonna get, like, the alien files and shit, and, like, Obama saying that, you know, aliens are a thing, or, like, real, you know. Fucking Joe Biden poops his pants, and people are just like, this is a distraction from the Epstein files. It's like, oh, brother. Shut the fuck up. Like, you can go back. You can go ahead and fucking watch this channel. I have been calling for the Epstein files for like 1 billion years. I have called for the Epstein files longer than any Democrat has called for the Epstein files, and that's just a fact. Because they didn't give a shit about the Epstein files until they thought that Trump could possibly be in it. Like, again, they don't give a shit about the victims. They just are hoping that Trump will get caught in it, even though, like, the Epstein files actually prove that Trump was the good guy in the Epstein saga files, or in the Epstein files saga. Like, not the bad guy at all. But they'll cope and seethe about that, as they always do. It's such a leftist thing. Cope and seethe, cope and seethe. But, yeah, just everything. Oh, it's a distraction. It's a distraction from the Epstein files. And it's like, no, it's not. Things are just happening. Because guess what? Things always happen. Like, people aren't literally sitting back going, what can we do that's going to distract people from the Epstein files? I mean, maybe in some cases you could say that that's possible, but, like, war with Iran and aliens are I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could make the case aliens being real is like a distraction from the Epstein files. Maybe you could make the case. But things just happen. Again, like, Are we just gonna pretend that, like, nothing ever happened until, like, we started talking about the Epstein files and started getting releases on that? Are we just gonna pretend that, you know, the entirety of human existence has been quiet until the Epstein files were talked about, in which case things started happening because, like, let those files get out even though fucking they're releasing files. Like, you know, people are like Nick Fuentes, the leftist plant, is upset that, like, they're not coming out fast enough. But it's like, are we gonna be upset at Trump and his administration for that? The only administration that had the balls to release the files, we're gonna go ahead and, like, we're gonna get on their case about that. Like, maybe you can get on Pam Bondi's case. Pam Bondi is awful. I think she's terrible and horrible at her job. Like, sure, get on her case, whatever. Tell her where are the arrests, you know? Like, sure, whatever. But, like, are we really gonna get on Trump's case over this? No. Well, if you have sense, no. Because, again, Obama could have done it. Joe Biden could have done it. But no one did it. No one asked. No one cared. It took Trump. It took Trump to get it done, you know? And then, like, it turns out Obama's lawyer is caught up. Why is no one talking about that? Everyone keeps going, Trump's a pedo. He's in the files. Yeah, as the guy who, you know, told the feds to, like, investigate Epstein and Maxwell back in 2006 and called them evil. He's in the files for, like, that. But they're like, we're just going to ignore the fact that Catherine Rumler, who was Obama's, like, attorney and worked with him, like, while he was in office, was just casually working with Epstein and, like, helped the Obama White House, like, do some shit. Like, we're just gonna ignore that, you know? We're pay no attention to, like, the Obama connection, because, like, Trump's name is in the files. Like, okay? I swear, it could literally be like Jeffrey Epstein saying, like, curse that damn Trump, you know, trying to foil my operation. And people would be like, leftists would be like, see, Trump's name is in the files, therefore he's a pedo. Like, just, it's low IQ people, you know, low IQ people, what can I say? Then again, I really don't think anyone ever accused leftists of being smart people. You know, like AOC over at the Munich conference, where she just made a total ass of herself. Like, that was hilarious. You know, she fucking didn't know that Venezuela, all of Venezuela, is above the equator. She had no idea that cowboys originated in Spain, and basically had a whole minute of well, you see the thing, after being asked if, you know, we should send, like, troops if Taiwan is invaded. And it's like, I'm sitting there. She allegedly prepared months for this conference. And she ended her minute-long with, it's a standing policy. And I was sitting there thinking, I have prepared 0 hours and 0 minutes for this conference, and my answer would have been yes, absolutely, 100%. It's within the United States and the world's best interest to keep China at bay. On top of that, Taiwan has one of the largest manufacturers of chips in the world. Right there. So it would be within our interest to protect that as well. And then maybe throw in something about, like standing for democracy or whatever. It's like, again, you're an elected official. Go back to tending bars, AOC. You're fucking retarded. There's actually, well, I'll finish off on this. There was one more thing I wanted to say, but we don't have time for that conversation. We don't have time for that. I thought that was going to be the majority of what I was going to talk about, which is why I saved it for last, because I thought all this stuff was going to, like, not take that long, and then it ended up taking that long, and a little bit longer. So, man, what the fuck is going on in Mexico? Mexico is, like, coming unglued. It's kind of like, I mean, I've always kind of called Mexico a failed state, because it essentially is a narco state. Well, it's not it is a narco state. The cartel controls everything in Mexico. And now it's kind of like been proven, The Mexican government went through, with the help of the United States, and killed El Mencho, who's like this cartel guy, cartel leader. Fucking murked him, which is epic. I'm totally down for killing more narco-terrorists. But yeah, the entire fucking nation has come unglued now. Yeah, they're fucking going through and, like, straight up murdering people, like, burning shit to the ground. Like the cartel, obviously. And, like, it seeing some of it, it reminds me of, like, the old fucking war documentaries, watching, like, Vietnam, like South Vietnam, like, collapse. It's like, that's what we're watching right now. It's like South Vietnam collapse. Just wild shit. Like, honestly, we need to go Operation Rolling Thunder on Mexico already. Just go through, indiscriminately fucking kill every cartel member. Just, like, waste them all. Fucking, we're not gonna be, there's only one judge, and that's God. But we're gonna set up the meeting for you, okay? like that is the kind of shit that we need to do, because, like, it's out of control, and it is not cool that we have a narco state that is just casually on our border. Like, that is kind of unacceptable. It's not kind of unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Like, we should honestly go through right now. Tell the Mexican government, you have 48 hours to clean this shit up. Alright? And then immediately after that, you fucking go through and you send a message to the cartel in Mexico, telling them, you have 48 hours to surrender right now to the Mexican authorities, and, like, calm your shit down, or we will kill every single one of you. Like, honestly, yeah, that's it. Fucking mic drop. That's it. We will kill every single one of you. Like, it is a shame that, like, we allow those scum to breathe. You know? Like, let alone just operate and do, like, cartel things. Like, it is a shame that we let them breathe. But yeah, if you don't have a fucking strong hand, shit like this happens. You know? And I'm not saying that Trump doesn't have a strong hand. He, like, dude has balls of steel. But, like, in Mexico, no one has a strong hand. You know? Except for the cartel. And it's like, if Claudia Sheinbaum, like, had any sense or any balls, she would fucking go and make an announcement telling the cartel, like I said, that they're gonna shut the fuck up, sit down, or we're gonna call in Big Daddy USA. And that is when Big Daddy USA, you know, Daddy Trump gets on the horn and tells them, like what I said, you're gonna fucking die, alright? You are going to cease this fucking bullshit. You know, for every American that you kidnap, for every American that you kill, we are gonna slaughter 20 of you. And you know what? Fuck it. If you don't calm down and, like, surrender right now, we're gonna fucking kill all of you just for the fun of it. You know? This is not a time for playing around. Like, I honestly think the Mexico thing should be dealt with before we do anything with Iran. Because it's like, it's on our border. It's in our hemisphere and it's on our border. You know? It, like, directly impacts U.S. citizens. I don't know. That's what I would do. I would go through, like I said, give them 48 hours. Send out Blackhawks. Fucking, you know what? If Mexico, if Claudia Sheinbaum is like, oh no, you can't do that. Fucking, we're gonna bring tanks. Alright, we're gonna bring tanks and we're gonna bring fucking Blackhawks and fucking, we're gonna drop bombs. And you know what, Claudia? If you want to stop us, go and try. See how that goes for you. But right now, we're going to clean up your mess because you clearly are incapable of being able to clean up your mess. And there's nothing you're going to do about it. You're going to sit back and you're going to say, thank you very much. Like, again, it drives me crazy that, like, we don't swing our dick around more. Like, the United States has the biggest fucking dick. And sometimes we just refuse to use it. But yeah, no, like I said, I'd love to go to war with the cartel. I would love that. Like, it would make my nips hard. Because, again, it's a shame that we let them breathe. It's a shame. You know, I'm all for, like, and people will be like, you know, oh, but Ultra, you know, you're a Christian, and, like, you have, like, a Christian channel. It's like, how can you say something like that and call yourself a Christian? Because, like, yes, we're supposed to, like, love our enemy, but at the same time, we're also supposed to protect the innocent. Alright? We are charged with protecting the innocent. And you kind of have to pick. Like, I would say that I am showing my enemy love by telling them they have 48 hours to surrender. That is me showing them love. If I was not showing them love, I would unannounced show up and fucking kill them all. fucking throw Agent Orange down on the cartel. Like that would be my unchristian way of taking care of the cartel. Fucking Agent Orange and surprise attacks from out of nowhere. The Christian way is telling them that they have 48 hours to surrender, or they're going to die. And those are the options. Either that or that. And it's up for them to pick. And at that point, if they pick to die, well, then they picked that, you know? I tried giving them a better option. They didn't take it. But we're not going to have innocence, innocence property destroyed, livelihoods ruined, or even worse, we're not going to have innocents killed. That is not an option. If the two options are expunged from this earth, there's no fucking debate to be had. The narco scum are going to be expunged from this earth. You know? Like I said, not the judge. We're not the judge. Only God is the judge, but I'd be more than happy to set up the meeting between you and him. Yeah. So anyway, those are a few of my thoughts. We didn't really get to the ideas because basically we were going to talk about AI. I'll save that for another episode, though, because there's just so much to talk about, and it's past time to end the episode by like a lot. So, see ya and bye-bye.